Hey Scorpio, so it's me Alexis. Welcome back to my astrology channel, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a horoscope and tarot reading for the full moon in Pisces on the 13th/14th. This is going to be applying for Scorpio suns and risings, so if you are one of those, this video will apply for you. Before I start the video, I just want to let you guys know that I do offer personal versions of like this horoscope/tarot reading kind of thing. If you kind of want to see how this full moon will personally pan out for you, you can go ahead and DM me on Twitter and we can get something planned out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this reading, Scorpio. So before I kind of talk about how everything will affect you personally, I kind of want to talk about how the general astrology will, the general astrological stuff. So this full moon is going to be a bit tense just because there is going to be a T-square. So the transiting Sun and Mars in Virgo are going to be conjunct. The transiting Moon and Neptune, full moon in Pisces, they're going to be conjunct, and then they're going to be opposing each other, the Sun and Mars, and then Moon and Neptune. And on top of that, the transiting Jupiter and Sagittarius is going to be squared those two, hence the T squared. So with this going on, it's tense, guys. I think the number one thing that I've kind of realized about this full moon is that a lot of this is about mitigating your focus and learning how to deal with clarity and ambiguity so that we can better perceive and better see what is an opportunity versus what's not an opportunity. Because part of opportunities is seeing it as an opportunity, and sometimes we can see the wrong things as an opportunity. And hopefully through this full moon, hopefully we can all figure out what we truly need, and if we know what we truly need, then we'll really find out our opportunities. So yeah, Scorpio, let's go ahead and kind of talk about how all of this will personally affect you. So Scorpio, this full moon is going to be happening in your 5th house, and the 5th house is the house of fun. It's the house of pleasure. When I think of the 5th house, I think of hobbies, I think of children, because children are hopefully the embodiment of joy. And then I also think of romantic relationships, like the honeymoon phase, like hookups, stuff like that. And then the transiting Jupiter is going to be in your 2nd house, which is the house of personal finances. On a psychological level, I think of self-esteem. And with all of that, if the full moon is taking place in your 5th house, that means there's a lot of planets going on in your 11th house, which is all in Virgo. So what the heck does all this mean for you? So as of late, Scorpio, with so many Virgo planets transiting your 11th house, you've been focusing on how you kind of fit into the puzzle when it comes to belonging in the world. This could be work in terms of being clear with your friendships, or having practical community groups that you associate with, stuff like that. And then with this full moon in Pisces though, this full moon in Pisces is really calling you to be like, hey Scorpio, just wanted to check in on you, are you really happy right now? And I think this is a really important question, because maybe there's a sense that, because you've been trying so hard to belong, because you've been trying so hard to kind of communicate with people, because you've been trying so hard to handle your relationships with your friends, or really handling yourself in a group situation, this full moon in Pisces is really just calling for you to call on yourself and to kind of sit here and think, wait, before I do any of all of this, am I okay? Am I having fun? Am I happy? And I think this, full moon in Pisces is just a call for you guys to really just kind of sit down and just be like, okay, let me go ahead and enjoy myself for a bit. Let me go ahead and kind of do what I actually want to do. Because let's face it, Scorpio, Scorpio sun or rising, you don't like opening up to people that often. And when you do it because, you feel like it's good for you, or because you have to. For most of the time, you would rather prefer to be alone. But lately with Virgo season, you've been realizing the power of belonging somewhere. You've realized the power of connecting with people and being relevant. And, now though, with this full moon in Pisces though, you gotta have to kind of let yourself kind of surrender to you having your own needs, and your own needs of having pleasure. And I think that is going to be illuminated with the Pisces full moon. So with the Pisces full moon, I would say that there's going to be some ambiguity, or maybe some mystery when it comes to what you enjoy. Maybe you've kind of disconnected from certain activities that you've done before, and you kind of need to connect back to it. Or maybe you have to surrender to the fact that maybe you might not know what you enjoy. You might not know everything that you enjoy. You may know certain things that you enjoy, but maybe with this full moon in Pisces, you may realize that like there's a lot of great ways and a lot of great things in life that can make you really happy, and it's up to you to kind of surrender the fact that you don't really know, so that you can kind of explore and kind of see more opportunities. Now, the transiting Jupiter is going to be in your second house, and again, the second house is the house of personal finances, and on a psychological level, it's like self-esteem. And with this, you know, Jupiter being square to everything, Jupiter is kind of sitting here like, okay, I've been wanting to provide abundance in terms of self-stability and self, you know, preservation. And like Jupiter's kind of looking around being like, okay, Scorpio, I've seen that you've been trying to preserve yourself in a group of people, but, you know, how about how you are by yourself? And like it's kind of weird because you're sitting here like, you know, I kind of think of like the stage when it comes to 5th and 11th house axis. Like lately, Scorpio, you've been really used to getting, you know, warm with the audience. You've been really focused on really getting with your community. But now, like, the stage is calling you back from the audience. Like, the stage is calling you to shine again. The stage is calling you to stand out. And it's time for you to kind of walk back to the stage and, you know, be a solo performer. And, you know, wherever you choose to be, though, with Jupiter, depending on where you go, you know, hopefully with whatever opportunities you get, hopefully with whatever you choose, you know, Jupiter is going to provide you that, you know, opportunity to ground yourself and to truly stabilize yourself, no matter where you're going, whether you're trying to just to enjoy life by yourself or whether you're trying to make some more network connections. So, yeah, Scorpio, that is going to be your horoscope. Let's go ahead and kind of look at the cards. Okay, Scorpio. So it's like for the most part, like a pretty good message. I got the Knight of Coins, Page of Swords, and then the Seven of Coins reversed. So as of right now, Scorpio, like you've been really like, I mean, slowly but surely, you are definitely starting to like empower yourself. So I think like with this period that's going on for you right now, I really feel like this is a really good time for you to really to recalibrate, I guess, how to empower yourself. But like lately, self-empowerment has been really the case for you in terms of like other people acknowledging that you are a person of power, especially with the Page of Swords, because I kind of feel like your sense of empowerment and, you know, influence on people is starting to form. And then with the Knight of Coins, like, you know, as you're building on this power right here, you're also building on your sense of security. So I really feel like as of right now, you've been doing some nice personal, you know, work on yourself. Now, there is a little like message of caution for you guys because, you know, I do see the Seven of Coins reversed. So I think this could be speaking to maybe your attempts to kind of control like how your empowerment is going to go. But this is also like, I get the vibe that like, you know, with this card, like I feel driven to tell you guys to be patient. Like with like, you know, with this card, I get this whole sense of like, don't rush it, let it grow, don't pick it up too early, don't harvest too early, it's almost there, don't rush it, let it grow, let the process do itself. So with that, I feel like you've been doing a lot of good work and like congrats to you. However, you need to wait. It's going to come. Your efforts are going to be paid off. Like, it's gonna be okay. And, you know, depending on what this is, like, maybe depending on what you're working on, I do feel like there's a sense of you where you've been working on this for a while, and I do feel like it's like personal self-development, and the end goal hopefully is you being empowered. So whatever this is, Scorpio, like, you know, keep on going, keep going. Like, you are doing well right now. Like, whatever you've been doing right now, do good. With this Pisces moon in the 5th house, I think this is another way for my deck to tell you like, hey, you've been doing a good job. Don't rush yourself. Don't stress yourself out. Don't try to control the outcome that you can't control. You know, let the ambiguity of, you know, opportunities do its thing. And for now, enjoy yourself. You deserve it, Scorpio. You've done good. You've done a great job. So yeah, Scorpio, thank you so much for listening to this reading. I hope that this reading resonated with you guys, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video.